is a hedgehog. He's super fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a Sonic's. It's
Exactly.
a really good hot dog place.
It's not. Sonic's is not a hot dog place. What are you talking about?
It's burgers.
Yeah,
The
well,
only
it's
time
kinda
the only
everything.
time I ever ate there was on tour, and it made me violently ill.
Yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best.
Yeah, so forgive me for not knowing all of their cuisine.
You don't spend a lot of time in the middle of the country, yeah?
Yeah, there's like none out here,
No.
and I think for good reason. It's garbage food.
You got to go in. You got to go in inwards a little bit there.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
yeah,
this is the Remember the Times podcast. I'm Mitch. That's AJ. We're remembering times.
yeah. I got a question for you before we start this off.
Okay.
What is your favorite SPNC song to play, and what is your favorite SPNC song to perform?
Ooh,
Because they're two different questions.
that's an interesting question. An interesting combination of questions.
right?
To play, I really like doing "Remember the Times," the dual harmonies.
as a vocalist.
Yeah, and dual harmonies. It had cool like chances to show off, but performance-wise, because it's so like fast vocals the whole time, there's not really much you can do.
Right.
Without running out of breath. Performing, I really liked More Than Just a Name was fun. I guess.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm spacing out on the name. We used to open with it all the time.
No, Dead Inside.
No, we opened with it on Warped Tour.
Burst in Flame.
No, it's the one with weird timing.
Samhain Serenade.
No,
From Beneath.
Yeah,
From
From Beneath.
That's not an SPNC song. So
Yeah, it's an
just get the
Allura
hell out of
song.
here.
All right.
I was gonna save that question for for the Allura era.
Okay, well then not that song.
Yeah,
More Than Just a Name is right on the cusp though.
it is. Yeah, you can say that for both.
And
But
that one
interesting.
because that one had a lot of like big open gaps where I'm not doing anything, but
Sure.
it had kind of like vibey parts to dance to, and then they went into
Very vibey. Yes, absolutely.
yeah, Irie vibes. Those, as you know, are my favorites.
I mean, I think if nothing else, we're both very Irie.
Irie, very very Ivy. What about you? What are your songs, bro?
You want to do a J?
Oh man, I'm so stoned right now.
Fire out.
Fired up, dude. Ganja. What are your songs for those?
I would have to say my favorite song to play SBNC era would be "Burst in Flames,"
Okay.
which that song is really fun on the guitar. It's very kill switch engagey, as we talked about. I would have to say as a full band though, Burst in Flame, or sorry, not Burst in Flames. Breathe No More was a very fun one. Like as a whole.
Yeah.
You know.
I think when
lot
we
of
did
energy in that
the
one.
reunion show, that was a really fun one to come in with.
Yeah, I was like, oh goddamn, there's a lot of energy. Sean would agree to that statement, I think.
Oh, you double checked with him
No, just every time
on one of your nightly phone calls.
every time he's like, dude, that ending just fucking makes me go nuts. Yeah, which I take credit for. I wrote that ending.
Yeah.
Check it out, Breathe No More on all streaming platforms.
It's on Spotify. Go check it out.
Mainly James is on it, so that's what makes the song.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Obviously, but yeah. Okay. We'll get back to the shows here.
Yeah, come on, man.
We are still in October 2006. Just to recap, we entered a battle of the bands that will really inform later episodes. We won second place at the Roxy, and now we are going to perform at the Key Club
And is
for
it
the
safe
second round.
safe to assume we did not make it into the second round for the whiskey one?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember what happened. I'm just assuming we didn't make it.
I don't remember it existing. So
Yeah, but we did it. And
Cool.
then also, I just moved back to the South Bay, and I got a job working for Fletcher from Pennywise's clothing company, Family. And yeah, so that was epic. We were all on a very, we felt like we were really like starting to make some moves here.
there's a trajectory.
Yeah, we had a bunch of big shows. I had a sweet job. We thought we were doing some shit. So like I said, I'm pretty sure the Roxy and the Whiskey Battle of the Bands was October 15th and 16th. And then the very next weekend, 20th and 21st, we went back to back again, back in the South Bay now. I have no memory of which Manhattan Beach Teen Center show this was. I think we tried to gloss over them. It was one of them.
It was a show at the Teen Center.
Yep. The Manhattan Beach Teen Center. any number of things could have happened, which we've already talked about. This next one was at the El Segundo Teen Center, which El Segundo is the city right next to Manhattan, north of it. They have a teen center there that they actually did get quite a few bands come through there. That was a pretty hot spot for like bigger ones. And I remember like Bleeding Through came through once, and we were like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, I remember finding out that we were going to play at the El Segundo Teen Center, and it was like a bigger deal.
Yeah,
and,
right?
and it's
Yeah.
a teen center, like it shouldn't be, but we were like, oh shit, this is like the El Segundo Teen
So
Center.
I think as that one had like a stage, which the Manhattan one did not. So right off the bat, you're a leg up.
It's actually a venue.
Not a floor show, but we were also opening for A Dying Dream, who eventually goes inside, but they just keep going like this as time goes on.
And this is in their hometown.
Yeah, so we're stoked. And then to open the show is a Fallen Figure, which has Mitch's younger brother Steve on the drums, who we've talked about a couple times before, and has Chris, my brother, and our drummer on vocals. He now started doubling in 2 bands here, which was not the first time he'd done this. I think this is probably his 3rd extra band on top of SBNC. Mm-hmm. But so they were like super death metal, like deathcore, I would say. Deathcore. And they opened the show. So Chris played 2 sets. I don't know. Do you have any memories of Fallen Figure or like Steve being in it?
Only that it was like they played and then we played, right? There was no band in between us, if I remember.
It was just back to back.
Yeah.
They were really heavy. I remember Steve, I think originally our buddy Ian that we've talked about, who played with The Ghost Inside and All Shall Perish. I'm pretty sure he was the original guitar player for this band.
Yeah. Well, so Ian and my brother Steve were like best friends. Still are to this day, as far as I know.
Hell yeah.
But I remember being shocked that how good at the drums Steve had gotten.
Nice.
Because like we lived together for a really long time. He played the drums, but he was like learning at the time.
Okay.
He started way later than I think Chris did.
Yeah, maybe.
Started learning the drums, but like after I'd moved out, he started like practicing in earnest. Cool. It sounded like. And I was like, I had no idea that you could do this. It's awesome.
Yeah, and then I guess the singer got kicked out, and Ian had left, and Dan Sugarman, who is now in Ice Nine Kills, joined, and they commandeered Chris because dude had an awesome scream, a really, really good scream. And so they were quite death metal, and they opened it. They have I don't think their demo is on any streaming platforms, but it was the lyrics were very funny. I remember I used to drive them around to like get their tickets if they were like selling tickets at a show, because they were all super young. And actually one song Chris like did a little bit of actual singing, and I used to go to a lot of their shows a lot just to be supportive and stuff, and nobody else knew how to sing harmonies, so I would go up for this one little section and sing the harmonies. little guest spot. I
don't remember ever like going to their shows or anything, or really ever hearing about them.
I remember I drove them out. There was a venue called The Alley out in Fullerton. They opened for Let Live, and I drove them. I drove them all out there, and then I guest vocaled as well. Yeah,
like, we'd love to play at your show, but we need someone to drive us.
Yep, basically, which we are all too familiar with. But anyway, so they opened the show, and I don't know if you remember this. Guy who was filling in for us and was going to come up way later, but Taylor Killam got his teeth knocked in during Fallen Figures set. I saw the fucking thing. Jesus.
Ugh.
And his got his teeth knocked in and does not remember the rest of the night. He was talking complete gibberish outside.
I talked to him about this like not that long ago.
Yeah.
And he said something to the effect of like he's dancing, all of a sudden he's outside.
Sitting on a curb. In the metal and punk scene, it's not the same as like ska, or I don't know if there's pit at rock shows or reggae shows. I don't really know what you do with those, but you're going to get hurt at a metal show.
Yeah, people are just throwing elbows and kicks and stuff. They're not necessarily targeting unless you did something to, or they're an asshole.
Chances are you're going to get hurt, and it's actually pretty fun, to be quite honest. But
it was. Definitely not anymore.
I have not done it in my 30s or even my late 20s. I was like, I got to work, man. I can't get hurt here.
Yeah.
But so he got his teeth knocked in. So that was a that was like the main memory of that. I do remember our set going well, and A Dying Dream, I think they had like just purchased some lights, so their show was like, they were like even cooler, and they were on tour, and I remember their like they had a fill-in guitar player. I was like, man, I want to fill in. But other than that, yeah, there wasn't anything too crazy, but it was a super packed show.
Yeah.
Yeah. As always is with A Dying Dream. And then 10 days later, we are playing our second show at the Westchester Grill, 2 months in a row, again opening for A Dying Dream. And this was a Halloween show, which is also Chris's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all dressed as pirates. Not the same pirate that Josh dressed up as.
Yeah, actual pirates?
We actually dressed as pirates.
Whoa.
All of us. I do have pictures of that. That was a really good show. I do remember our sisters came. Sarah, my sister, and Chris's sister, and Sean's sister, Colleen, all came to the show, and they were all dressed up. So it was a really fun night. I have a memory that Vigil wasn't there. They got this show later. Sorry, Vigil is the singer of A Dying Dream and The Ghost Inside. A bigger band had reached out to Vigil and asked him to fill in on this one date on tour, like up in Portland.
Oh.
So he had already flown out, and they didn't want to cancel the show, so they had their merch guy sing.
I do remember.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was this show. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it was this one.
I think so, because it was at first it was kind of like, is this a Halloween thing? Like they're like they changed up for some costume, or I don't know. It was like something's weird with the band tonight.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck's going on? That's not Vigil. Yeah. But that was interesting. Yeah, and then Jesus, we really played way too many times in the South Bay. Not more than 11 days later, we played at the Kiwanis Club again in Hermosa. I don't remember this one at all, too. They're all the fucking... So many of the same things happened at all of these shows.
Unless something, like, specific and drastic happens.
Like someone's teeth getting knocked in.
Yeah, we remember those.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, this show happened.
It happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it happened to Adam also.
Yeah.
But Taylor, I think he had to get his jaw wired.
Really?
I think it was that bad. Like, he was drinking, he wasn't eating solids for a while.
I mean, there's that. You know, my girlfriend got knocked out once. Like, things happen. Mitch got fondled. Things happen in the...
That was just emotional damage. I'm fine, though. I'm fine now.
You're totally fine.
I'm totally fine. I'm not harboring anything.
So, Jesus. All right, so this episode is October 20th, 21st, October 31st, November 10th, and now November 26th is the last one. So we were just like gunning for it here.
Yeah.
I don't think did we ever say no to a show? I don't think so.
No, fuck no.
It's like, yeah, we're fucking, we're going for it.
You want us to play at what, like a bar mitzvah? Yeah, sure, we're there.
Let's do it. So this is the second round of that Bodog Battle of the Bands I was talking about. So we got second place at the Roxy the month prior, and we got into this one. Evidently, we did not pull out all the stops trying to get people out to this show, nor did anybody else in the round.
It was dead. I remember.
Dead. Could not have been more dead. I pretty sure I like was counting. I counted 6 people watching our set at this giant ass club.
At the Key Club.
At the Key Club. So every single band on the second round, I think, somehow every single one just phoned it in, and it was not good.
You guys all lose. Whatever.
Yeah, we did not advance. If you didn't know where that story was going, we did not advance. But one of those 6 people in the crowd that was there for some other band watched our set. I remember seeing him in the crowd, and then we were just hanging out outside, and he comes up to us after our set, and he was like, dude, that song, More Than Just a Name, I loved that song. I own a studio. I would love to work with you guys. I think he handed me his card, only because I don't know, it might have been you, but I ended up with the card regardless of who he handed it to. But he handed us this card and said, I would love to work with you, and just keep me posted on what your deal is. We didn't look into him at first, so you'll find out in a couple episodes what happened, but that was a very big changing moment that we had no idea what we had just walked into.
We were just like, yeah, okay, guy.
Yeah. Not only that,
talk
but
to you later.
What are you doing at the Key Club with 5 other people.
Yeah.
That's it.
You clearly aren't like a guy.
Yeah.
You aren't the guy.
Couldn't be somebody. But I guess he was scouting one of the bands on the battle and ended up liking us more. So he gave us the card. So yeah. So that's where this one ends. Yeah, we had some pretty awesome shows, but yeah, you're gonna find out what happens with this guy.
Hints of things to come.
Hints of things to come. We're nearing the end of 2006 here. Oh man. Yeah.
Jesus.
And
Time is
that's
flying in
episode
this
30.
podcast.
It really is, isn't it? Well, it's tough when you don't remember.
Yeah,
I remember a lot of things.
Teen Center.
It's the same show.
Yeah.
You were probably in your shirt again, your work shirt, and yeah.
Yeah. You know, I was a hardworking man.
You were, absolutely. You weren't working at Lickety Split like me. But, yeah. Actually, never mind. I have a cool job at this point.
Yeah, at this point, you had the sweet job that everybody else wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, all right. So you're gonna find out the end of 2006 and what happened with the guy we met pretty soon.
Ooh. Cool. Thanks for listening in,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.